If you ask someone what's the golden era of RuneScape, the answer you get is going to depend on the person. Some people may tell you that it's the era of 2004 or the very early days of RuneScape. Some people may remember RuneScape Classic as their favorite era. Many will say 2007, which is what the wildly popular old school RuneScape game is based upon, is their favorite era. But for me, that answer will and always has been the years 2010 to 2013. This to me was the best era of RuneScape. This was meaning before Evolution of Combat was released. I was 13 to 15 years old during this time. It was the era of me coming home from school every day, locking myself in my room, and playing RuneScape until it was dark outside. It felt as though I could spend all day on RuneScape and I'd look up and wonder where the time went. This to me felt like such a magical era. We had things like summoning and then also dungeoneering being released into the game, which gave way to new powerful chaotic weapons. Things like potion flasks were just being released, and Jagex even tried something wild, like double drop weekends where boss drops were doubled at certain bosses. Yes, Jagex did actually add that to the game. Also the releases of new bosses including Nex, which is what this video is going to be about today. Many of you know Nex today as a powerful boss in RuneScape, but not a lot of people remember that brief year or so period before Evolution of Combat was released when Nex first came into RuneScape. Nex was released in January of 2011 and it was considered by far the most powerful boss in RuneScape. It had a different look entirely than the Nex we know today, and it was very hard and difficult to kill. The difficulty is evident in the extremely expensive prices of the Nex armor at the time. When I made my video about the most expensive boss drops in RuneScape history, doing the research for that, I discovered just the massive prices of these Nex armor items during this era. Things like the Pernix body were billions of gold, which back in this era was the equivalent of much more today. Having armor like Pernix back in this era, you were considered extremely wealthy and extremely elite. I thought about trying to figure out how I could revisit Nex as accurately as I possibly could to the pre-EOC era and take her on, for nostalgia purposes and just to revisit that era for just a moment if I could. Nex is actually coming to old school RuneScape on January 5th, just 2 weeks after this video is being uploaded, complete with the old model of Nex looking kinda like a weird bird, but hey, although it's not the greatest looking, it is very nostalgic for a lot of people. Old school RuneScape though is a much different game now than RuneScape was in 2011 or 2012. Players are way more experienced, more efficient, and more skilled than ever. Items are completely different with new synergies and a completely different meta. Players are more skilled, mostly because back in this era, a lot of us were probably 14, 15 years old like me, not really having a clue what they were doing. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to attempt to travel back in time and fight Nex using a guide from early 2012 and see just how good or bad that it goes using legacy combat in RuneScape. Now, I'm going to try to get as close as I possibly can on the live game to experiencing Nex from that era, and I think it's going to be really fun, and I'm also interested to see if I get absolutely destroyed during this. The first thing I had to do though was I had to find a guide. Now back in 2011, YouTube wasn't nearly as popular as it is today in terms of RuneScape. We didn't have things like Discord servers with helpful guides and communities. The main option for guides in that era was usually scouring various forums or Googling and searching for anything helpful. Now there were YouTube videos and there were people that made RuneScape videos, but it wasn't as robust as it was today. Now the site that I mainly used in this era was a site called Tippet. This site was dedicated to giving guides and helpful tips to RuneScapers, including a bestiary, quest guide, lists of NPCs, and in 2011, this is what you used if you needed info. So I decided to go on the Wayback Machine and try to find a guide for Nex in 2012 to get as accurate of gear as I could to take on this challenge, and this is what I ended up finding, and this was my reaction. So here we are on RuneScape Tippet from 2012. We are on the next guide page. It was called the Ancient Prison, and this is the page that we're going to be looking to seeing everything we need to know about killing next, because remember guys, it's 2012 and we're taking on this challenge. So here we are, here is Nex, a weird bird looking thing, and here are the requirements that people recommend for Nex during this time. Looks like 99 in most combat stats, then 95 prayer for turmoils, 96 summoning because everyone used a pack yak during this era at Nex, and then overloads of course, then chaotic crossbow and the rigor prayer. So there was a lot of stuff you needed because of course this was a very endgame boss, a super powerful boss, so looks like we're gonna need a lot of stuff. This was something else I've just saw, and it's really cool. So this is kind of a breakdown of all Nex's special attacks from this era, and you can see in the pictures, you know, the old hit splats, everyone with, you know, pack yaks, people with max capes, because if you're doing Nex in this era, you were probably pretty high stats. Everyone had like max capes, void, different stuff like that. And here we are. Okay, we finally get to the equipment. So what are we looking at here? So it looks like for the weapon we're using a chaotic crossbow, which is what I would assume. These were like the most powerful weapons at this time. We've got ruby bolts, we've got Pernix, of course. Okay, Pernix was extremely expensive at the time, but I don't think it would be that bad for me to get now. Amulet of Fury, shield, it looks like Divine, Elysian, Eagle Eye. I'm going to try to use what's in this picture rather than what it says down here. Looks like we have like a Dragon Claws switch, overloads. Man, this is a nostalgia blast right here. We've got the unicorn. I definitely remember this era. I did not have this good of gear, but I do remember aspiring to be like this. So we're gonna go and get this gear now and see how we can do. Alright, so I actually didn't have the gloves needed, so I ended up buying Barrow's gloves, which was the next best choice, which is something that I actually haven't bought on RuneScape in many years, except on old school, so it was kind of weird to go and buy them, but we did buy those, and now we got to Nex, we've got all our gear. I even purchased the replica overrides from the Solomon store, just so I could give us the complete feel of being back in that era. I'm in Legacy interface. Everything looks as much as I could get it like that era, so we are ready to take on Nex. Alright guys, so here we are at Nex, and we are going to be attempting to kill her. So we're in our Legacy interface and everything like that. Here's Nex. Nex has a Santa hat on because it's Christmas, and the mod's like putting Santa hats on all the bosses. Ooh, an 800 there. Okay, you know, this actually isn't going as bad as I thought in terms of like how much damage I'm doing. I'm actually doing quite a bit, more than I thought. So the ruby bolts actually. Okay, did we get the minion now? Do we kill the minion now? No, not yet. I'm getting meleeed a lot, so I guess I'm gonna switch to melee prey and see if I get like almost die. I guess we'll see. I think we did actually. Okay, so we have phased it. So now it's time to kill the minion. Maybe, I don't know if the minion is when I should use like my Dragon Claw specs. I think it's on the boss, but of course, I'm never going to get perfectly in how the era worked with all the strategies because I'm pretty sure most people did not solo during this era, so oh, you know what? That is not good. So Nex actually has a thing where if she comes melee distance, she's gonna rapidly damage you. And I am getting rapidly damaged right now. I am getting absolutely destroyed. I think we've got her at a distance now, so I'm gonna try to stay like this just because oh, she's coming back for me. I need to kind of stay at a distance because you can see the rapid damage that happens. It's also much darker during this phase than I remember. I think we're close. Okay, we got her here. Okay, so now we're on the blood phase, so I'm really not sure how this is going to go at all. I'm not sure if I should declaw spec here. I guess I will. Okay, Kill the Reavers again. This is much more intense than I thought. Alright, next is pretty high health. I'm not sure if we're actually going to be able to get this here. Yeah, looks like we're going to have to teleport. Alright, so since I could not get the kill myself, I tried for over an hour. I could not get the kill. Just made a new instance. So my friend has got his gear from this era as well. And we are going to be taking on next together. And I think we should be able to get it done. So let's see how it goes. Oh, he's soul splitting. He's a little, damn, what a pro. I was not soul splitting. We're getting smacked up here. I feel like he could die. I feel like the death could come. Okay, this is definitely a bit easier right now. I'm real curious to see how the next phases go. Oh, he got hit. Let's take some of my rock tails so I have them. Oh, he got hit again. The shadows. All right. We're on the blood phase now. Let's see how this goes. Okay, I think we're doing a bit better now, maybe. I'm hoping. We might actually get this here. Come on. We did it! Yes, yes, we did the blood phase. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, we actually did it. I need to drop some of these prayers for food for this phase for sure, because we are about to get smashed, I think. Man, this is much more intense even in duo than I thought. Oh, please get me out. Ow. Okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Okay, we're on the minion. I think we're gonna do it, guys, unless it goes totally wrong. Okay, last phase. I'm trying to like not let Nex heal. I'm not sure how much Nex heals. And down goes Nex. We did it. And we get magic seeds. What a kill. 10 minutes. That was much harder than I thought. I thought it was going to be even easy, like really, really easy duo, and it was not as easy as I thought. Man, having a shield and no dual wield, you really deal less damage. So that is it. We ended up killing Nex. It was a lot harder than I thought. I don't know if I would have ever soloed just because the blood phase was so hard. I don't think many people actually did solo back in this era. All the guides and everything I see, it's a ton of people doing Nex together with pack yaks, all working together to kill the boss. A real definition of a group boss. So I guess it was fitting that I did it duo because, hey, I don't think I was ever gonna get the kill solo, but I'm happy we got it. This was honestly a really fun experience. I hope you guys enjoyed this sort of nostalgia blast of content from the past, looking back at the history and stuff. I thought it was really fun. If you enjoyed this type of video, if you could leave a like, that can help get the video out to more people. And yeah, subscribe if you want more videos like these because I definitely enjoy doing them. And thank you so much for watching.